Not all companies choose to base the markup on cost. Some choose to base the markup on the selling price. So earlier we gave you this example. So there is an item that costs the retailer 40 bucks, and they're going to mark it up 50% based on cost. So this is from the previous video. And so the markup amount is calculated by $40 times 50% gives us a $20 markup. Therefore, the selling price must be 60 bucks. You just add the $20 markup to the $40 cost. Now, instead of marking up 50% based on cost, the company could get the same $60 selling price by instead calculating markup based on the selling price and then marking up 33 1/3% based on the selling price instead of 50%, which was based on the cost. So we'll show you an example on the next slide. So remember, we're now going to compute the markup based on the selling price. So each company decides which way to calculate the markup. So let's say the item is selling for $60. So we know the selling price. The markup rate, which is based on that $60 selling price, is 33 1/3. We want to determine the markup and then calculate the cost. Let's calculate the markup first. Now we have a couple methods to choose from. So method 1, you take the selling price times the markup rate equals the markup amount. So in this case, the selling price is $60. So we multiply that by 33 1/3%. That gives us a $20 markup amount. So to calculate the cost, you take the selling price, $60, minus that $20 markup, and that gives us the cost. So $60 minus $20 gives us the $40 cost. So here's the optional shortcut method that everyone likes to use. So make sure your decimal selector is set to 2. Enter 60 times 33.33% and then hit minus. And that gives you your $40 cost. Always double check your answer. So to double check your answer, you're going to take the cost plus the markup equals the price. So a $40 cost plus a $20 markup gives us a $60 selling price. Now this optional shortcut method will sometimes calculate the wrong answer due to rounding. So on the test, where you want to be 100% accurate, I highly recommend you use this first option. So let's do another example that's not so obvious. Remember, we're computing the markup based on the selling price. So an item is selling for $500. The markup rate, which was based on the selling price, is 30%. So we want to determine the markup and then figure out what the cost was. So let's calculate the markup first. So to calculate the markup amount, it's selling price times markup rate. So $500 times 30% gives us a $150 markup amount. So if $500 is a selling price and it was marked up $150 to get there, the cost must be the selling price minus the markup amount. So you take the $500 selling price, subtract $150 markup, and the cost must have been $350. So an optional shortcut method, enter 500 times 30% and then hit minus. Now, this is a bizarre but equally effective optional method. You take the selling price times a markup rate's complement. So what's a complement of 30%? It's 70%. So you take the selling price, 500 times 70%, and that gives you the $350 cost. So double check your answer. To double check your answer is cost plus markup equals the price. So $350 plus 150 gives us the $500 selling price. And notice that the red warning at the bottom, optional shortcut method, and method 2 will sometimes calculate the wrong answer due to rounding. So you might be a penny difference there. So I recommend you calculate it this way on the test. Let's do another one. An item is selling for $67.25. The markup rate, which is based on the selling price, is 22.5%. Determine the markup and the cost. So let's do the markup. So 67.25 times 22.5% gives us a $15.13 markup amount. So to get the cost, we're going to subtract that from 67.25. So the original cost must have been $52.12. The shortcut method on your calculator, 67.25 times 22.5%, hit minus, and that gives you 52.12. The optional method, number 2, you take the selling price times the markup rate's complement, gives you the cost. So the complement of 22.5% would be 77.5%. So 67.25 times 77.5% gives you the $52.12 cost. And always double check your answer. So the cost of $52.12 plus $15.13 markup gives you a $67.25 selling price. In the next video, we'll show you how to calculate the markup based on an unknown selling price.